Well, I'm now going to show you how to build a stand for a set of perfect fifth healing tune pipes. So in the box you will get two long uprights. You will get two pieces that will be for the top and the bottom. They're labelled 2 and 4. A pair of feet and two extension pieces. Now inside the box, most of you will also receive some printed instructions as well. If you haven't received those, I will be sending those to you by email. And all of these pieces are marked with labels. It's really straightforward because you're kind of matching the numbers. So the first thing you'll need to do is to get the two uprights, and at the top they have 1 and 2, and at the bottom they have 3 and 4. You then need to lay out on the floor what looks like a giant picture frame. You'll see that the top piece, which is very obvious, it has hooks on it, is also got 1 and 2 on. So you basically match 1 and 2 on these with the 1 and 2 on there. That ensures you get everything the right way round. This piece, the top piece, will go on top of the bracket, and you're provided with some screws. You have a packet of screws and also a screwdriver, and you'll actually connect those up. So you'll notice in the packet of screws there are of two sizes. There's the long ones and the short ones. You'll need the smaller size for this part of the frame. The longer ones are for where you're going through two pieces of wood, and that comes later on. So while you're laying out this, you can get the bottom piece, which is labelled with 3 and 4, and just put that in the correct position, ready to be screwed onto the bracket. And again, like the top, it goes on the outside of the bracket, not the inside of the bracket. You also have a screwdriver, so a handy thing for your toolkit afterwards. So I'm just going to start and screw in the first screw. There are 3 screws to be done on each part. So that's 12 altogether on this part. Very easy to do because there's already holes ready drilled. When you come to screwing on the bottom bit, you'll notice there's an extra 2 holes here. So when you're actually screwing this frame together, you're using the smaller 3, not the 2 slightly larger holes. They're for the larger screws for when you put the feet on later on. So it's the outer holes only. Just like so. I'm just doing a little tightening up now on these bits. There, perfect. So once you have screwed all of the frame together, you should have something that looks like this. And you can move it in different positions just to tighten everything up so you've got a good solid frame. The next part is to attach the feet. So they are numbered 5 and 6. They have little plastic feet on the bottom. And you'll notice there's a bit cut out with 2 screw holes there. So these will join to the corner brackets on the bottom bar. So you simply slide it under, and this is where you're going to need the longer screws. And you're going to need 2 screws for each side, and you screw them in from the top down. So you push it through and just line it up with the hole that's in the foot piece. And then you can just start to screw that in. I'm just going to do it loosely to start with. And then I'm going to line up the other one. Which unfortunately is slightly fiddly at the moment. I think I might need my glasses on for this bit. Oops. I'm just going to go and tighten up. Now I've got them both in the right place. Make sure it's nice and firm. And exactly the same process on the other side. Right, so I'm just tightening up the last screws, so we now have a solid looking frame. Now there's 2 other pieces to attach. And these pieces will hold 1 long pole each, and these will go on the outside, and again you'll need the longer screws for this. Each one will take 3 of the longer screws. The only thing you need to watch for is you make sure the hooks are all facing the same direction, and so in this case all the hooks are all facing forward. And these will come out at the top. I'm going to lie this down just to make it a bit easy for me to screw this on. So when you're actually putting these on, number-wise, the one that's numbered 7 will match up with the one that says number 1. That way it does ensure that all your hooks are facing the right way, but it is pretty obvious, to be honest. So the number 8 will go on the part that says number 2. So once again, you need to put the screws in, and the screws will go on the outside going in. And don't be concerned that there's a couple of screws left over in your packet. You have a couple of spares. They don't need to go anywhere. So you get it in place, and you can just make sure that they're lined up with the 3 holes that are drilled, and then you can just start and screw these in. Just get into a slightly better position for that. What I'm doing to start with, just doing it loosely to make sure I catch it in the right place, and tightening it up afterwards. And then it's exactly the same process on the other side. Right, this is the last screw now. I'm looking forward to getting the pipes on it. It'll tighten up. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going over all the screws that I've put in just to tighten everything. Now it's in its upright position. Just make sure all of these are nice and firm so nothing's going to wobble about or come undone. Oh, there was one that was a little bit loose there. And I've tightened these up on the side as well, just to make sure, as a couple of them did feel a bit loose once I stood it upright properly. And then, once that's done, you're ready to hang your pipes. Now we're about to hang the pipes, so this is a bit that's getting really fun now. So I suggest you hang them in order of size. So I'm going to put the smallest pipe here, and you just simply hook them on. You have to use one hook twice. So the next pipe you will use the same hook and go over one. Oops. There's number 4. Oops, it's got a bit tangled. And the 5th pipe. Oops. There. So you have 2 longer pipes as well, which will go on either end. So I would suggest that you put not the longest, the second longest pipe. I believe that's the C. That will go on this end. That means you have all these pipes in order of note, and the longer pipe, which is the F2 over here. The reason for that is simply that it's going to be easier to play in sequence, and if you want to start with the lowest note here, you can tap this one and then this one, and then you're going down or up the scale. And there you have it. Stand with pipes, ready for playing.